It's amazing when you try and figure out a way to start something for like a year and you never do. So hello everyone, this is Failure Fox. It's been it's been like fucking 3 years. Oh my gosh, bet you're wondering where I've been. That's pretty much what this is for. Warning: this may end up being like an hour long because I've got notes on what I should be talking about. And my network key on the notes because I had to fix my fucking internet for 100 millionth time. But I'm probably gonna ramble around. I'm gonna try and make this pretty quick. Right now, all I have, what you're seeing right now, is just me on my Minecraft server, which I just reset recently. Hey, guess what? There's an entire season of that I didn't show you guys even a single thing on, and it makes me really sad. But that's what happens when you can't get yourself to even want to look at yourself. Anyway, we'll start with that anyway. So I've been going through a lot of depression, as like everyone in the frickin' world does apparently. But I've learned a lot more about why. So anyway, if you remember, the last time you really saw me was back when I uploaded a bunch of pretty bad Ratchet and Clank gameplays because I was going back to school. Well, right when I started going back to school, I also got saddled with a job at the Dairy Queen again. Well, unfortunately, that clashed, and I ended up basically failing an entire term of classes. Which, long later, I realized I didn't actually fail the classes so much as because I turned them all on to pass, no pass, so it wouldn't affect that, but I didn't attend for the majority of the term, which means I lost the financial aid I just started using for the first time in my life. And I don't know if there's a way to get that back, and it's really hard for me to try and get that back because, when you're really depressed and stuff, it's hard. And before anyone just goes, oh, just do it, it's harder for me than you might think to just do it, and I'll explain that one later, actually. So that happened. I left that job because I was just frustrated. The job was a piece of shit anyway. They wouldn't give me time off to do my homework, basically. I asked for reduced hours, and I wasn't getting it because it was a busy time of the year. Unfortunately, it was when I needed, to do my schoolwork. And so that all crashed, and then for about a year or two, I pretty much did nothing. Didn't go to school. I just kind of just existed, and I was sad and depressed, and that's not really good. I mean, the only thing that really worked out for me is I was playing Dungeons and Dragons with some people, and that kind of brought me out of that a little bit. Had Dungeons and Dragons with Carl and Keith and Lucas, and that was pretty fun. I mean, it was a sham, but a ramshackle sham, but it was still fun. Met Eli there. We eventually changed that off into Carl DMing for a little bit with World's Largest Dungeon, and that eventually died. Then we had Eli DMing for us, and that was pretty fun. Except Carl's character was overpowered, and he wouldn't admit it. And then we had another game, and his character was also way too much, and so on and so forth. And it got extremely frustrating because he would essentially criticize everyone else's decisions and characters really passive aggressively or directly, and it was really frustrating. Eli was trying to cut through a bunch of things and make it a lot faster for us because he didn't really want to work with this part of the module. And because Carl had actually read that part of the module before, kept going, oh, isn't there this? And oh, isn't there this? Oh, I'm really excited to see this. So this something that'll happen later. And it put a lot of pressure on him, so he didn't want to do it. Didn't help that Carl, 2 games in a row now, was using homebrew classes that were extremely versatile and extremely powerful because of that. Because in 3.5 D&D, Versatility is king. And then if you have versatility and a rules lawyer and they're the same person, it's just frustrating to be around. Anyway, so I ended up kind of cutting off all ties with Carl because he was only... I mentioned several times why I don't talk to him and what would have to change for it to happen, and he ignored it. When I told him that I'm not going to talk to him anymore, and I brought up a lot of problems to him, he just kept saying, oh, well, I don't remember any of those, so come on Skype and talk to me about it. But I won't do that because that's another one of those, the points where I sacrifice a lot, or at least I usually do, for people. And he didn't sacrifice anything for that. It wasn't, oh, maybe I should talk to you on your terms. No, it was, hey, come on Skype sometime when I'm online and talk to me about it so I can defend myself. Well, you can't defend yourself because my perception is my perception. Anyway, moving on. During around this time, I also got a new job. I got a job at Shopko, where my sister worked. And then she got fired about 5 months later, which was really disappointing. Well, she didn't get fired, she left, because there was a lot of tension between her and management, which is not uncommon, I've learned. I mean, it doesn't happen to me because I'm freaking, like, amazing with people, which is stupid, because, hey, here's a person that's literally afraid of people, and he's really good with people. Fucking bullshit. Alright, so there was that. The job isn't the best job. It's still fucking minimum wage, but hey, it's a job. I'm glad I can do things. I'm practically like assistant freaking freight manager or supervisor, which isn't a position, which means I don't get anything for it. But I know a lot about the freight. I'm on almost every single freight truck, except for a couple times where I actually take time off. Like this week, apparently freight is this Friday, but I'm taking it off because it's Good Friday. And that's important to me. You know, I'm Christian. I want to take that time. One of the few times the year I ever take off because I have, you know, my religion. And that's why I have it. Anyway, let's see. Let's check my notes again. My cat died, which makes me really sad. I don't really want to talk too much on that, but I haven't even been able to keep a fish tank since then, so it's really hard for me to want to care for something right now because it's, you know, it hurts. You know, when something, and, you know, she disappeared, and that's how she died. She left, you know, and she'd been really annoying up until then, so I feel really bad, like, I made her leave, and then she died, you know? Because I was so depressed and upset with everything that I didn't have time for her. It didn't help that, and I'm pretty sure this happened a long time ago. It's just something that I wrote down my notes to talk about. And, you know, she was having a lot of trouble. She didn't really make it in the cat box ever. She didn't want to stay outside. She didn't, you know, it was really frustrating to work with her. And that was that. Let's see. My grandparents are all gone. There's something. That's a fun one. I'm actually not as depressed about that as I would think I am, which actually is what depresses me. The fact that I don't feel much about that. That's a humdinger, isn't it? When you feel like you're supposed to be sad, but you're not. Everyone around you is sad. Your mom is sad because her entire family is, you know, she had to single-handedly take care of both her parents as they decayed into nothingness and then died, you know, and now they're gone, but I don't really feel anything. I feel sympathy, but that's it. Let's see. Other things. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. I moved. Keith needed a place to stay because his mother died, and which is, you know, extra sad compared to all my don't say that, Ben. Anyway, so we ended up moving out. We brought Eli with us from D&D, and we've been pretty good friends since then. It's been mostly working out. He still doesn't have a job, but me and Eli do, and Keith has some sort of income, so it seems to be fine. It just irritates me because the agreement me and Keith had was that he was going to have a job before we even moved out, because he had a year for it, and it's been over a year since that agreement was made now, and no job. I don't even know if he's looking, and that's what frustrates and worries me. I've been pretty happy with the apartment. It's really weird, not because I lived, 25, 6 years with my parents, so it's really weird being in my own room that's small, for one. Oh, let's not break my freaking headset further, for fuck's sakes. Sorry. Sorry again. Continuing to be sorry. Small room, which is new. I've always had a pretty big room, just filled with shit, so I pretty much have the same amount of crap in a smaller room. I need to clean it up really bad. That's one of the things I was supposed to do today, but I figured I would finally, just record the audio for this. Because I've been meaning to say all this stuff for freaking years, and the fact that it's been so long has kept making me not want to do it, because I feel so guilty about not doing videos. And every once in a while people will say, hey, I miss you, when's the next video of this coming out? And I'm sorry, I'm gonna try and get back to it. And up until now, I pretty much haven't. Now I'm working on it. I mean, here we are, an update video. It's a step in the right direction. The biggest reason I haven't really wanted to do an update video is that I don't want to say, hey, here's a video. I want to do videos again, but I'm not going to, because that's how it has been so far. Basically, every time I've wanted to say, I'm going to do stuff, I don't do it. Or even if I do say, I'm going to do stuff, I don't do it. And then nothing happens. And then I feel like everyone's going to be sad and upset with me. And that leads into something else. That leads into something very important I discovered about myself. Well, I don't know, important, but maybe a reason I discovered. There's no way I can actually, get diagnoses and stuff like that about problems that I may or may not have, because I'm afraid that, it's going to be wrong, it's going to be bad, or something like that. So I never, ever, ever go to the doctor. I never go to a psychiatrist. I don't have the money for it either. So I just kind of go, well, my life is just going to be miserable. But I figured out that I think I have something called athletophobia, which is essentially a fear of failing and a fear of imperfection. And, at first it's like, oh, well, that doesn't sound like a real thing. Well, depression doesn't really sound like a real thing, but that's a thing, apparently. But this really describes me to a T, if only just because all my life I've told myself I'm not good at anything in order to try and tell myself that I, try and make myself keep an ego down that didn't exist, kind of thing. The problem is I've never stopped telling myself I'm terrible and worthless. I'd always say, "Oh, you're bad. I'm bad at this," so I would try and do hard to do better. Work hard at it. It's not a thing you should do to yourself when you're 12, and then continue doing that until you're 26, because it kills you inside really badly. I'm functional in that I can go and do things. I can go do things, but if it's something new, I don't want to. If it's something I don't know anything about, or I've never tried, I don't even want to go near it. It's super hard for me to try new things because it's an unknown that I know nothing about, that I cannot control, that I cannot do correctly, that I cannot do perfectly immediately. I'm afraid that I might do something wrong, and if I do something wrong, then, well, I'm wrong, and that's terrible. Even when I was a kid, I would never play a game without a guide. Good example is Final Fantasy V, one of my more favorite games. I would always use cheats and stuff so I could get everything maxed and everything perfect. I would always use a guide so I knew that I had to steal the Genji equipment from, or Genji, no, it's Genji. I know what I'm talking about. I've seen Japan words before. From Gilgamesh on all the fights that you fight him with. Now the thing is I've replayed the game. I've just been playing it lately, and I missed the Genji equipment, and I thought to myself I should just restart because I saved afterwards, and it's so hard for me not to restart the entire game because I'm playing without cheats, so I would legitimately have to start the entire game from the beginning, and that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff you have to fucking go through. Since, halfway through the damn game is when the Genji equipment shows up. So it's one of those situations where it's how do you even And so I've just I've been forcing myself to keep going, and it's really tough because every time I have a heavy equipped character and I see the one Genji helm that I actually stole from Gilgamesh on the last time that you fight him, I think, well, why don't I just restart? Why don't I restart this? Because I don't have it. That's just a small example. Times where I'm at work where it's just like, hey, I need you to go do this, and I'm like, okay, sure, and I think I know what they want me to do, then I'll get to it, and I'll find something suddenly where I'm confused. I don't know what am I supposed to do, and sometimes I will legitimate freeze in place. And my anxiety spikes so high I can't even breathe. Pushing past that is unbelievably difficult. It's possible. Everything is possible. If you have a fear of freaking sharks, you can somehow, an actual legit fear of sharks, where it's just ingrained in your psyche. It is possible for you to jump in the damn thing of sharks. It's unbelievably unlikely, but it's possible. And so, what am I doing? That's why I haven't done my D&D stuff, because all I can think of is there's no way I'm going to be able to do this right. Because the next thing I need to do is wizards, and wizards are fucking hard. You want to know why? Because they're complicated. You want to know why? Because they're not complicated. Because you pick spells and then you do them. Everything in wizards is spells. I don't know everything about spells. Frickin' Carl does, but he would frickin' just tell you that you're an idiot and you should just go figure out how you're supposed to do it. Or he would tell you exactly the spells you should have and then be upset when you don't use them. That's pretty much how that happened. Wizards are hard. Sorcerers are slightly less hard, but still hard. Why? Well, you have less spells known, but you have more spells per day, so you can just load up on a few spells you think are cool, and you just throw them all over the place, and you're like, yeah! But there's the thing, it's really hard for me, even when I even wrote down a whole list of things, of like, how should I do the wizard episode? How should I explain blah 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 blah? And I practiced it over and over again, forever, and I've never, ever, ever recorded any of it. Because I can't even figure out how I would do it. Because it's like why whenever I've wrote stories in the past, because I've written a lot of little stories, there's only like one chapter of each. Because I know how I want it to start, I have an idea on how I want it to end, but if I don't do it right in the middle, then it's worthless. And so I freeze. Now there are times where I've pushed past things like that. It's why I actually went to college. It's why I actually have some friends now. I have allergies today. Why I do things in Minecraft. Minecraft is unbelievably awesome, and one of the reasons why I get really defensive on it is it's helped me. It's helped me a lot. I can do really neat things in Minecraft, and it's not like it matters that someone else is better than me because I made my thing. You know, I made a cool thing. I think it's neat. You know, I made a freaking wall one time that opened up because pistons existed, and I was like, oh my gosh, pistons are cool. And then, yay, there it was. I was done. You know, I thought it was cool. I made a freaking pop up and down light switch thing. That was something that I thought was cool. I started working with piston tape that someone else made, and that was freaking cool. You're able to do a lot of things in Minecraft and just have fun with it. Everything I ever try to write just kind of falters because I'm not a fan. I know how to write. I know what I'm doing. I mean, half of the things I read ever, anywhere, I can tell you exactly how the how incorrect the grammar is, as opposed to how I speak with it. Fucking A. And there we go. Another reason why I but I haven't come back is I'm afraid I'm a different person now. I've been through a lot. You know, just the things I've noted aren't even everything. I don't even remember if I talked to you guys when I almost, when I was hospitalized with pneumonia for 4 days. That was interesting. I've learned I can't stand IVs, so that'll never happen. Can't give blood because I will freak out. Anyway, I don't even know if I told you guys that kind of thing. There's a lot of things have happened. A lot of yay, a lot of things. Fuck, there was an entire season of my Minecraft server that I haven't even shown you guys anything of. I have it downloaded onto my computer, so I do plan to show you guys some stuff. The big reason on that one, though, is I stopped wanting to play that because I felt like I wasn't allowed to play on the server. That'll sound weird, but the reason is I thought I made people feel uncomfortable around spawn because I had an idea for spawn, and a few people kept ruining it over and over again, and I guess it doesn't make sense to me that, it just felt like people didn't want me there almost. I don't know. It's hard to explain how emotions are hard to explain, especially when you have screwed up emotions like I do. So we'll just kind of leave it at that. No one did anything maliciously. It's just every time I was there, it felt like someone was screwing up one of my things that I built there, because I built this beautiful town center. And then someone built like something right next to it that was just literally acacia wood. And it's like, great, that looks like sin. Then there was like, let's just plant trees randomly everywhere. Well, it looks like someone randomly just made a line of trees. That looks terrible. Let's build a wall of trees. Why? Right next to this. It was, the point of a town center is for it to be in the middle of things. And then they built a wall of buildings right next to it. Mind you, they were nice, but it was like, well, there's no going that direction now. Not even if you wanted to. Then, like, slight to the left, someone else claimed a whole shit ton of territory and never did anything with it. And then it's right next door to that, now on the north side, since we started on the east side, and we're now on the north side. You have someone that I actually like being there. But we have a wall there. We have literally 2 cardinal directions from the town center that are blocked, and that frustrated me. The idea I had was that everyone would expand out, like it would be a town. There would be like the center, and then people would build things away from it. Almost no one left spawn, and that's what frustrated me. I even purposely mined from my house like 2,000, 4,000 blocks away under spawn so I could take away resources so that people would leave. And no one did. They just stayed right there. So on the new version, I don't really care. I'm letting people do wherever they want at spawn. I'm not even, I don't even look at that place. The only thing I ever see there is when people do screenshots. I had built a little center tower thing that was all pretty, or center fountain thing that was all pretty, and now it's made of obsidian. No, computer, don't go to sleep. But now they've replaced that with some obsidian structures and like lava. And it's probably neat, but it completely destroys what I had an idea of for it, but that's the point of me not being there. I'm essentially going to build my own city and town and shit off on this peninsula I found. I'll show you guys this stuff soon enough. So, yeah. I just kind of want to talk about anything right now because I need to. I haven't spoken to you all for forever, and it makes me feel bad. Not just the whole like miss you, kind of thing that people always say, but I feel like I'm supposed to. Like I'm, back with the, phobias. I feel like I am not doing what I'm supposed to do. Everyone wants me to do this, and so I should be doing it. Shame on me for not doing it, kind of thing. And I used to really enjoy doing videos. I used to really enjoy doing Let's Plays and the little D&D stuff that I did throw up there. I used to really like it. And I want to do that again. I want to have that joy again. I want to make things. I want to produce stuff. Because making things is a surefire way of making you feel better. At least it is for me. Doing something productive. Productive and appreciated. And I think that might be one of the things that's really the most messed up with me. Is almost everything I've ever done was just so that someone else would say good job. Why does it matter that I did 100% playthrough of XYZ games? Because someone will say, that's impressive. Someone will congratulate me. Someone somewhere. The funny thing is, though, the only time that I ever didn't do that was actually with this channel. When I first started putting stuff up on this channel, one of the reasons I chose the name Failure Fox, other than it being a username long ago I made when I was kind of in a sad place, like I am most of my life. But it was to try and show, say, don't expect anything fantastic from me. I'm not great at things. And yet, I go through Sonic 3 and Knuckles and nearly die like, I don't know, 10 times the entire time on all files. And go through it straight, getting all of the Chaos Emeralds immediately. I used... But the thing is, though, is I did... Sonic 3 and Knuckles just to do it. Just to be like, hey, look at this. I can do a thing. I don't care if anyone pays attention to me. I just want to do this. And that was fun. That was a long time ago fun. It feels like nowadays I'm not allowed to just do. And not because of you guys. I don't think I've ever had any of you guys, or at least anyone that said anything that it stuck with me, aside from D&D stuff, that I should be doing better or something. Oh, no, that someone did say something once back. It was like, I don't know. Recently, it was a comment on one of my, like, I don't know, first 10 .hack videos, which back then I had an unbelievably shitty capture card that I didn't know how to work. And so I just didn't, it's just like, yeah, that's what you get. Too bad. I mean, there's so many better players than I am with everything. It doesn't so much matter to me that people see me as the best at something or even comparable, but just that they enjoy what I'm doing. That's really all I really care about. That's why I don't make money off of this. I refuse to monetize still. I mean, someday if they start forcing ads on all my videos that I don't monetize anyway, I might start doing it just so that it's like, hey, at least I'm getting something. But I never, ever, ever went to YouTube thinking that I would make something out of it. It was not meant to be that way. It was meant to just be, I can put stuff up, maybe my friends will look at it, that'll be fun. Because my friends don't even fucking check my shit out, but whatever. You know, that kind of thing. That's pretty much how I had gone into it. And that's one of the reasons why I used Failure Fox again, was because, hey, you don't expect anything. I even had a freaking tagline at first, Failing Lots, because, well, first of all, that used to be a thing. Everyone had kind of a tagline. It's stupid, but it was kind of a thing for a while. But, it felt like, you know, I was trying to do that to kind of lower people's expectations. I use Failure Fox as my online handle now primarily because I want it to be, you know, I don't want people to expect like the great things from me. You know, it's what I am on Steam. It's what I want to use on Minecraft, but I don't really. I mean, I actually have it. That's the funny part, but I don't use it because I want the email switched. I really do. But yeah, especially when I played Team Fortress 2, I always think, hey, look at this. This is my name says I'm bad at this, so don't even expect me to be good. Except I'm good at things, and that's frustrating. When you build up this idea that no one should feel bad because or expect anything from you because you have nothing. You know, you're already, yeah, I'm not good, so ha 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 ha. I'm not good at this, so don't worry about it. Except I'm good at things. You know, I'm not bad at games. I'm not bad at freight. I'm not bad at work. I'm strong. I actually am stronger than half the people I know physically, which is really just amazes me. Whenever I have to like work with someone else, like even some of the other freight workers aren't like I can lift twice as much as they can, and it's just astounds me. You know, I'm actually good at things. I'm effective. I'm strong. I'm good. It's so weird. It's so hard for me to believe that, because like I said before, my entire life I said I was bad at everything. You know, Meta knew that I was doing that just to try and make myself better, but that's not how you do that. That doesn't do anything good for you. That crushes you. So now, I'm not going to say I'm back. I'll say that now that I've done this, I'm going to try. I'm going to try. At least a little bit more on doing things. It may still be like a month before I even do anything. But it might also be like tomorrow. I mean, I should explain that too. Another reason why I wasn't doing videos for a while is it was hard. My video editing software was really shit. I mean, when I first got it, it was fine. It worked all right, and that was the important part. Is it did what I needed to do, which was edit. You know, it was a step above Windows Movie Maker, and that's all I needed. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And so that's blah, 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 that's all I needed. But after a while, it started crashing all the time, and it made it really, really difficult to want to edit. Because what do you want to edit when your software is literally, you know for a fact, going to crash on you all the damn time? No, fuck no. And I didn't want to get anything else because everything else is ridiculously expensive. Oh, you have to get a Sony Vegas Pro, and it's $5,000 because it's for real program things. Blah 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 blah. You know, that's the kind of fucking thing that was going on. Can I add another track? Sorry, I'm technically testing stuff at the same time now that I've done this. But yeah, so and then Pinnacle, when my computer died, I couldn't copy it over to my new one. For some reason, I couldn't copy that crappy editing software over. I had to buy it again. Fuck that. That was irritating. And now I'm on a new computer, which there's a fucking trim split right there. Sorry. New computer. New computer. New. There it is. That, has stuff. Sorry. It's an actual low grade, but it's a gaming computer I built on it online. And I don't know how to get the capture device to talk to it. Because my options are to go get a cracked version of Pinnacle again, and possibly corrupt my computer again. My last one has trouble, and I'm sure that's what caused it. Or figure out a way to make it just import into this new program, which I found out you can get Sony Vegas like home studio or whatever, Movie Studio Platinum 13, for not nearly as much. There's a capture video option right here in project. Who knows if they work together? I was wow, I just remembered like things I hate about people. I hate about people when they don't go and do their own tech support, when it's literally all I'm doing is Googling your fucking question. For a good deal of time, all of my friends would continuously come to me for, hey, my computer's having trouble. Well, did you do this? No. And it's doing this, and so what's it doing? Oh, no, it's not working. You know, that if you ever want to piss off a tech support person, say that. Say, I don't know. Or when you tell them, okay, you need to try and do a system restore, and it might work for a little bit. You need to back up your stuff immediately because it might still corrupt. And then like a week later, I got a call, and it said, hey, my computer's breaking again. Oh, okay. So did you back up your stuff so you can at least you can do like a system wipe and then reinstall the OS and then put everything back on? No. Well, I have no solutions for you. Well, what if I do this? I don't know. What if it just gets better? It's not going to. You know, that's kind of. I've gotten off topic. This is gonna happen a lot. You know, I've been. I'm gonna ramble now. I've been getting into Dungeons and Dragons 4.0, and it's incredibly different. I've always said that, but it's not bad. I after actually reading through it, I can see a lot of what people feel is video gamey, because it kind of is. Not in the fact that it's like a video game. No, it's like, or it's simplified. No. It's everything is kind of instance based. They made it that way so that combat's faster, easier, and more fun, and you have more scaling challenge. For instance, your HP, it doesn't matter how much constitution you have. You have depending on what your class is, that's how much HP you get every level. And that's very different. In 3.5, you would just pump your constitution up so you could have ridiculous amounts of HP. Maybe so a barbarian with like by level 20 would have, I don't know, like you'd have like 28. No, 24 constitution. No, you probably have 28 actually, which would be 89. 9 times 20 is 180 on top of a D12 hit die. Take improved toughness for another 20. You just don't die at that point. You have so much HP that unless something insta-kills you, you just don't die. So, but the thing is about 4th edition is they wanted to get away from all that min-maxing. It's very difficult to min-max in 4th edition the same way that you would there. Things don't compound. You don't really get so much super stronger. Like, you know, your weapon, it's your weapon. You can get away with having, a longsword, a straight longsword for the entire game. It's very unlikely you're going to do that because just having a magic weapon so that it can do like fire damage or something is more effective. But you don't have to have, excuse me, this, super $25 million weapon with super specialization so you can do 100 damage a hit with, Ancient Mountain Hammer. You don't need that. You can get away with just playing the damn game. And that's what's nice. Is you can just play the game. I've been building like a couple of characters in it, and there's the ones I want to do is a Dragonborn Paladin, because fucking dragon people, I love that. That's awesome. And a Shardbind Monk. I went and looked up a guide on Monk, and it says, oh, Shardbinds aren't good at this, because they don't have any things that compound it. But that doesn't matter. Even in 3.5, your race, it matters a lot, but if you really wanted to do something, you could do it with whatever. Everyone would just laugh at you. In 4th edition, it's not super... It doesn't seem bad to do, like, a Shardbind Monk. You can... Human's better, or this is better, or that's better. Well, yeah, whatever. I don't care. I don't need to do a billion damage. It's not my goal here. My goal is to have fun. And 3.5, it's hard to just have fun because I played so many games with Carl that it's almost like optimization is the only solution. And the thing he didn't understand is, yeah, he should limit himself because he is too good. He's better than everyone else in the game. So what he ended up doing is he got himself kicked away from my life because he wouldn't think about it. He wouldn't think about, like, anyone else's feelings. Every time I brought it up, he basically would say, oh, so I have to limit myself so other people that aren't good at the game don't feel bad? Well, the answer is actually yes. Because don't be a dick. That's the thing, is don't be a fucking dick. We were frustrated with him because he would always do something like Cilicia would kill people that had given up because they were bandits, they were evil, they had to kill them. Her logic made sense because of chaotic good. That actually made enough sense for them to do that. But then he would get mad at us because we never in character stopped him. It's like, what are we gonna do? We argue with you, you kill them anyway, and then you threaten to kill us because you can kill anyone with one hit. Because you can auto-crit everyone to death. You're supposed to roleplay, guys. No, not when you've openly said you're trying to be able to kill everyone in the party in one hit. Especially my character, I built my character to essentially be invincible. Thematically anyway. And unfortunately, mechanically, I was. I had very good saves. I had very, 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 very high AC and a way to pump it. And so, I was unfair, and yet she could kill me immediately. And that's really frustrating when it's like, hey, your entire character concept is invalidated because this character just exists. Okay. Look at that, my internet died again. That's something that's fucking frustrating with my current living situation. My modem is a piece of fucking shit. It constantly goes down like every 25 minutes. If I'm lucky. It'll cut out. It'll be like, oh, I don't work now for like 10 minutes. Oh no. Doesn't your life suck? It's so frustrating. Anyway. I know the solution to that is go call the company, which is Comcast, which is known for being shit on caring about their customers. I need to just do it and actually get it fucking fixed. Or say, get my own router, which is what I really should do, is go buy my own router and just swap it out. And then if it is a problem with the service, then I can yell at them to fix their service. But I'm pretty sure it's the router, and I'm pretty sure we're just going to get another shit router over and over again, because that's what happens every time you ever try to get your router replaced. What's frustrating was I wasn't here when the router was set up. My roommates, who were the ones that were supposed to do the internet crap, were. But I did all the internet crap ahead of time. So basically, everything happened when I wasn't here. My name is wrong on the fucking bill. So many things are frustrating. You just don't even know about that kind of thing. And my roommates piss me off, and I kind of want to tell them off, but I know if I do that, Keith's gonna fucking cry, and Eli will probably feel bad. But nothing's gonna happen, and that's how I feel about a lot of things, is that nothing will happen. Sorry, I need to take a breath, because my nose is fucking clogging up for some reason. Can't breathe out of it. Anyway, I am running out of time. This, I actually thought was only going to be about a half hour, but I decided I'm going to keep talking for forever. And so now it is almost the entirety of the footage I recorded to do this. Let's Plays. I may be doing a couple things. Ys Origins I'm actually really interested in. I might do something with that, but it might take fucking forever to actually finish. I'm planning to record the entire gameplay without commentary. And do post-commentary between cutscenes, and then, like, anytime there's any speech, I want to have either me or another person or a couple other people voice it. I kind of want to voice the game. Because the game only has a few actual voiced points in it. Like, yeah, actually, there's very few. I mean, there's enough, but there's very few. The interesting part about that game is that there are 3 endings, with the unlockable character having the actual real ending. And that's what's interesting. And I don't know anything about Ys itself. I've kind of considered going out and, playing it and playing the rest of them and finding out. But I don't really know that much. Anyway, I'll probably do a lot more just talky talk stuff. I do plan on continuing the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. It's just kind of hard to want to, because I've kind of cut 3.5 out of my life a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of 3.5 stuff that I'm interested in, a lot of things that I still like. I still love the things you can do with 3.5, and if you have a mid-level or low-level optimized group, mid or low optimization group, it's probably a lot of fun. It's just I've never had that. I've had a mixed group every time of beginners and pros. I tried to get into a group at school once. They were a mixed group, but there's one person that I just could not stand being around because he treated all the other players like crap, and felt he was better than them, and did rules lawyering for himself, and then rules forgetting for himself. Like, if something was happening that, something got through that was way too good, he would take advantage of it. And this didn't happen while I was there, because he wasn't there most of the time. I still don't want to ever run into him, because he just pisses me off so much. But I heard secondhand from other players that he would, something that was overpowered as shit, he would use and use and use, and then once an enemy tried to use it, he would go, nope, that doesn't work because of this, this, and this. That's not right. Well, you do it. No. And then he would still try and use it for himself. That kind of thing pisses me off. When you try and trap and defeat the game master, the DM, the dungeon master, however you want to call him today, I think that you shouldn't be playing. Because when you're fighting the game master, you're trying to make it not fun for them. And that's not okay. That's why, one of the reasons, again, I cut Carl out. Because he wanted to make the game about him knowing things. He always had the correct solution. It's one thing that I kept saying is, you have the right answer, so we'll just do that every time. And he didn't understand that was why I was being passive-aggressive. It's because, and in fact, one time he was just counters like, well, you always seem to be unhappy that you're not able to sneak attack anything. And that wasn't my point. I built that character as a social character for a social game.
because I really wanted to do that, and I kind of had the feeling we were going to start doing that. And then we went into undead territory and elementals and shit. Stuff I would never be able to even do the tiny bit of combat optimization I did. And so I was frustrated mostly because I couldn't do my role-playing stuff because it didn't matter. Carl already invalidated the fact that I was evil. So I couldn't even spring that out and be like, oh, I don't care, blah, blah, blah. Because, hey, he wanted to show off that he could do something, you know? There was no question about, hey, should I okay this? Hey, should I get this okayed? It was, I'm doing this. Everyone else, fuck them. And I got tired of that. Alright, so I have been rambling for well too long. I covered all my topics at like 20 minutes in. Again, I do hope to start doing things again. I will not promise soon, but I won't even promise that I will. You know what? I'm going to say that. That way I can relieve some of my stress. If I do get around to doing console stuff again, I'm going to redo Ratchet & Clank, and I'm going to start over Star Ocean because I can't remember where I was going. It's just one of those RPGs you can't be away from for more than like a month, and it's been 3 years. Alright, that is everything. I need to quit so I can start rendering all this shit, and hopefully I'll actually upload this. Oh, a tidbit. I have the ending of Ratchet & Clank actually recorded and processed and ready to upload. I am never going to upload it because I just cannot get myself to do it. Yeah. Fun facts over. Bye-bye.